We all know the story behind Sasuke and Itachi Uchiha, two brothers in the Naruto series who suffered immensely under a flawed and exploitative shinobi system. But I want to do a deep dive into the psychology behind some of their most controversial decisions. On the surface, it seems pretty cut and dry. Sasuke wants revenge for what Itachi did to the Uchiha, and Itachi secretly wants the safety of both Sasuke and the Leaf Village. However, there is a third element that doesn't get discussed nearly as much, and it adds an entire layer of complexity to everything Sasuke and Itachi do throughout the series. And that third element is preserving the honor and legacy of the Uchiha. The Uchiha clan was one of the most powerful and revered clans in the history of the shinobi world. At a young age, Sasuke develops a great sense of pride in being an Uchiha. And though not trapped by the bindings of a clan, Itachi also shared a strong sense of pride in hailing from the bloodline. As the sole survivors of the Uchiha clan, outside of Obito, it makes sense that preserving its legacy became one of their main motivating factors. Let's start with Itachi because one might wonder how his treachery and genocide of the Uchiha could ever be considered as preservation of their legacy. But I think the scene where he is confronted about Shisui's death by the Uchiha police force gives us insight into his psychology and reasoning. He chastises the entire clan for their inability to evolve, to think beyond the clan, a short-sightedness that he eventually calls the folly of the Uchiha clan, something that could have easily been the trigger for the Fourth Great Ninja War, the destruction of the Leaf Village, and quite possibly the death of Sasuke, who was just a child at that time. If the Uchiha are doomed by their inability to change, then Itachi's solution was not to save their current form, but to preserve their honor through Sasuke. His contempt, in this moment, reflects despair. He sees the clan as already lost, and thus invests all hope in Sasuke as a purified continuation of the entire Uchiha legacy. In this context, Itachi's denunciation of the clan does not negate his concern for their honor. It reframes it completely. He rejects what the Uchiha have become while desperately trying to control how they will be remembered. This confrontation with the Uchiha police makes clear the paradox at the heart of his psychology. He believes the clan is tragically flawed and on a collision course with political failure, deadly hubris, and erasure. Yet he is willing to damn himself and become the living embodiment of the Uchiha's disgrace, to ensure that its final chapter is written by redemption through Sasuke. When you view it in this light, every action from the two Uchiha siblings, from Sasuke's betrayal of the Leaf Village to Itachi's treachery and calculated cruelty towards Sasuke, it can all be understood as different expressions of the same inherited burden. Both brothers are shaped by a worldview in which the Uchiha must not be remembered as helpless victims or traitors to their village, but as a clan whose fate is answered through strength and agency from within. Sasuke takes this responsibility and internalizes it. His entire identity becomes not just about revenge, but restoring the Uchiha clan just as Itachi wished. Sasuke does eventually find new priorities such as growing alongside and protecting his comrades, but his destiny as an avenger was something he could never escape. Itachi would never allow it, for the legacy of the Uchiha clan depended on Sasuke avenging their slain brethren. Itachi's brutality when he reunites with Sasuke is often explained as him trying to keep his cover as an Akatsuki spy. And while that is true, we can't forget that Itachi knows that he must die by Sasuke's hands. It's the only way for the Uchiha to be remembered by history, not as a clan of victims, but as a clan that rightfully attained justice through one of their own. Itachi said it himself. When he reunited with Sasuke during the war, he said that he deserved to be judged only by another Uchiha. Itachi's brutality towards Sasuke makes even more sense when you consider this context. His harsh manipulation, subjecting him to psychological torment and cultivating his hatred, it's all a deliberate act of self-sacrifice. Itachi engineers himself as the villain Sasuke must defeat for the redemption of the Uchiha clan. Itachi pushed Sasuke to the breaking point here. He probably never imagined that Sasuke would desert the Leaf Village and join Orochimaru. But for Sasuke, his duty to avenge the Uchiha clan takes priority over his duty to the Leaf Village, and even his comrades. It's quite the inverse of Itachi, who held his duty to the Leaf Village above his duty to the Uchiha clan. In Sasuke's fight against Naruto, both of their hearts were breaking. Neither of them wanted this, but it's the reality that was forced upon them. Even Naruto, the protagonist, found that his desire to bring his friend back was not as strong as Sasuke's desire to avenge the honor and legacy of the Uchiha clan, even if it meant going toward the darkness. And that was Itachi's mistake, something he admitted when he was resurrected. There is no greater irony than sacrificing everything to prevent the Fourth Great Ninja War, only to be revived from the dead to fight in it as a reanimated corpse, except perhaps the irony of attempting to protect the Leaf Village and preserve the legacy of the Uchiha through Sasuke, only for Sasuke himself to declare vengeance on the Leaf Village. When Naruto tells Itachi the truth about Sasuke, he comes to the realization that he is to blame for turning Sasuke into a traitor, a raging vehicle of vengeance and grievance, all things he slaughtered the Uchiha clan for in the first place. One of the most overwhelming emotions Itachi must have felt throughout his life was guilt. Despite knowing it was necessary, he felt guilty for his crimes against the Uchiha and wanted to atone through his orchestrated death at Sasuke's hands. And now he feels guilty for turning Sasuke into a dangerous rogue. One could say that Itachi loved Sasuke so much that he unintentionally destroyed him. By never giving Sasuke a choice, by never trusting his agency, and even in death, planned to control his actions using Shisui Uchiha's Koto Amatsukami, and also implanting the Amaterasu so Obito couldn't influence him. It was clear that he viewed Sasuke as something to protect and control, rather than to be trusted with his own free will. You never know what someone will do when given the option to choose their own path. Even Obito said he took a gamble on whether Sasuke would side with him or return to the Leaf Village and honor Itachi's wishes. And it was a gamble that paid off as Sasuke joined Obito's cause, at least temporarily. Perhaps if Itachi did the same and gave Sasuke more free will, Sasuke would have chosen a different path that was more ideal. Ultimately, he views his handling of Sasuke as a failure, but he has the self-awareness and introspection to see where he was wrong. It's why he leaves Sasuke for Naruto to handle. And even after death, Itachi still prioritizes the legacy and honor of the Uchiha clan by urging Naruto to never speak of his secret mission. By urging silence about the Uchiha's attempted coup, Itachi further protects the clan's reputation, preventing their memory from being reduced to treachery and dishonor in the eyes of history. Beyond revenge, Sasuke also feels the burden of legacy, of restoring the Uchiha clan. He briefly comes to the determination that the best way to do this is by severing its connection to the Leaf Village through the extermination of every Leaf Village citizen, a sort of purification through blood. Through Itachi and Sasuke, the Naruto series explores how manipulation tactics, unethical political systems, and inherited trauma and legacies can push people to justify extreme actions and fundamentally change others into something unrecognizable. And that does it for this video. Tell me, what do you think about the weight of legacy in Naruto and how it affects these characters? Please leave a like and subscribe and share your thoughts down below. And as always, thank you for watching.